Next question. Now see this question. There is definitely some learning in this question. Please listen to this question very, very carefully. Now see here. The question says, a man travels from A to B at a speed of 36 kilometers per hour in 74 minutes. So that means a person is traveling from one place to another place and the speed is given as 36 kilometers per hour and the time given is 74 minutes. Let us write the diagram here. Right? Let us write the diagram. A person is basically traveling from one place to another place. For example, this is A and somewhere here let us call it as B. The speed is given as 36 kilometers per hour and the time taken is given as 74 minutes. Right? Time taken is given as 74 minutes and he travels a distance from B to C with a speed of 45 kilometers per hour in 111 minutes. From B to C, this is C, and he is traveling at a speed of 45 kilometers per hour. Time taken is 111 minutes. Calculate the average speed of the whole journey is the question. Right? Calculate the average speed of the whole journey. Now see here. Generally, how will you calculate average speed? Average speed is total distance divided by total time. Distance traveled we don't know, but we can assume it as LCM of given speeds. But we also know that distance is nothing but speed into time, and speed value is given. Time value is also given. If you see the previous questions, here the distance value is given and speed value is given. So in the previous questions, speed value and the distance value were given. But in this question, speed value and the time value is given. So when you multiply those two, speed and time, you will end up with the distance basically. So I can say that speed is nothing but 36 kilometers per hour multiplied with the time is 74 minutes, or it is 74 divided by 60 hours. Okay, this is one part of the distance. The next part of the distance is speed is 45 kilometers per hour. Time is nothing but 111 minutes divided is nothing but 111 divided by 60 hours. So total distance we have written in the numerator right now. Total time is nothing but 74 divided by 60 hours plus 111 divided by 60 hours. So if you calculate this and if you simplify this, you will definitely end up with the right answer. But if you calculate, while calculating there are some observations. Please observe carefully. First thing is whether they have given the unit in terms of minute or whether they have given in terms of hours, it will not make any difference because 60 in the denominator and in here in the denominator, both the places it will cancel. So basically, whether you write it as 74 minutes and 111 minutes, it will not make any difference because the denominator 60 in the numerator and the denominator will cancel out. That is the first observation. Second observation is, okay, let us simplify the remaining parts right now. Here I have 74. Here I have 111. 74 and 111 are multiples of 37. I will take that 37 common factor in the numerator. If I take that 37 common factor, the left out thing is 36 multiplied by 2 because it is 74 added with 45 multiplied by 37 into 3 is 111. So basically you got here 36 into 2, 45 into 3 divided by denominator, it is 74 plus 111. In denominator also I will take 37 common factor. 37 into 2 is 74. 37 into 3 is 111. So 37 cancels and you calculate this, you will get the answer. I am least bothered about the answer. I am very much bothered about the method that you need to implement. This I will call it as method 1 because there are so many cancellations which are happening here. One of the cancellation is 60. That means you don't need to convert minutes into hours basically. Another calculation is that 74 and 111 are multiples of 37. So 37 will cancel out eventually. So instead of doing all these things and wasting our time in the examination, let us use a smarter approach. What is that smarter approach? See here. I will write the diagram exactly once again what I have written on method 1 also. From A to B, he is traveling at a speed of 36 kilometers per hour. time taken is 74 minutes. From B to C, he is traveling at a speed of 45 kilometers per hour. Time taken is 111 minutes. Now, I know that whether it is minutes or whether it is hours, it really does not make any difference, which I proved it in method 1 also. Now, I also know that this 74 and 111, what is given in time, it is multiples of 37. That means from A to B, you can say that it is 37 into 2. From B to C, it is 37 into 3. That means time ratio is nothing but 2:3. And just for your information, this 2 and 3 are nothing but what you are getting here as 2 and 3. Exactly, they both are same. In the denominator also, whatever you got here as 2 and 3 is nothing but what I have written as the ratio in method 2. I hope you are very clearly understanding this. That means I right now want to get the average speed value directly. That means instead of 74 minutes and 111 minutes, I will just assume it in terms of ratio as 2 hours and 3 hours in terms of ratio. It's so simple. Just assume it as 2 hours and 3 hours. So average speed can be easily calculated as, can I say that in total distance, in 1 hour it will cover 36, in 2 hours it will cover 72. This 72 is nothing but what you got it as 36 into 2 in method 1. Next, in 1 hour it will cover 45, in 3 hours it will cover 45 into 3, which is 135. This 135 is nothing but 45 into 3, what you have got it in method 1. And total distance we have written, total time is 2 hours plus 3 hours. That is exactly what you wrote here also. It is 5 hours. So you don't need to do all these extra intermediate steps which I have solved it in method 1 to get the answer for average speed. So fast, so quickly by using the concept of ratio. Take the time ratio and calculate it. No need to worry about it at all. Finally, you will get the answer so easily. So if you calculate this one, 130 plus 70 is 200. So 200 plus 7 is 207. 207 divided by 5, it is 41.2. Answer should be, 41.4. 41.4 should be the answer for this question, which is option D. I hope you understood that method 1 need not be taken care of. There are so many cancellations which are unnecessary extra things in method 1 which can be eliminated, and directly you can get the answer in method 2 without much of simplifications. Now, just for you people to understand it much more better, I will take one more question, similar kind of question, but I will just put it in numerical values. Suppose, for example, I am traveling for the first 83 minutes. I am traveling for the first 83 minutes at a speed of 38 kilometers per hour, and the next part I am traveling at a speed of 47 kilometers per hour, and the time taken here also, let it be 83 minutes only, right? Let it be 83 minutes only. Question is so simple. It is exactly similar to the previous question. Instead of 2:3 ratio, now I am taking 1:1 ratio. That's the only difference. This is another question. I am just giving a practice question so that you will understand it much more better, sir. Nothing else, right? So question is, find the average speed of the journey, right? Find the average speed of the journey. Now 83:83 is nothing but 1:1 ratio. So can I say that, I can easily say that this is 1 hour ratio with 1 hour. So in 1 hour it will cover 38. Here also it is 1 hour. So it should cover 38 into 1 plus total distance. In 1 hour it will cover 47. Here also it is 1 hour. So it should cover 47 divided by total time. How much time it is? 1 plus 1, 2 hours. So simple. You can solve this question at the most easiest way possible if you use this kind of methodologies. So answer will be 85 divided by 2. 85 divided by 2 should be the answer for this question. 85 divided by 2 kilometers per hour should be the final answer for this question. I hope you are very clear. You don't need to write all these intermediate steps what I have written in method 1. Directly you can solve by using method 2 so fast, and you can save a lot of time in the examination hall, which you can use it for some other question. Next question. Now see here. This is your original 2018 mains question. Please listen to this carefully. The question says, A person covers 40% of the distance from A to B at 8 kilometers per hour, 40% of the remaining distance at 9 kilometers per hour, and the rest at 12 kilometers per hour speed. Find the average speed of the entire journey is the question. Now see here. Can I say that because it is given in terms of percentages, I will assume the total distance as 100 kilometers. If I assume the total distance as 100 kilometers, 40% of the distance from A to B, that means 40% of 100 is 40 kilometers distance. He is traveling at a speed of how much? 8 kilometers per hour. Now, out of 140 is over. Remaining, out of the remaining 60 kilometers, 40% of that 60 remaining is traveled at 9 kilometers. That means out of 100 kilometers, 40 kilometers of distance is already covered. Remaining is 60. Out of that remaining 60, he will cover 40% at 9 kilometer. What is 40% of 60? What is 10% of 60? It is 6. 40% of 60 is, it is 6 into 4. Remain next 24 kilometers, he will travel at 9 kilometers per hour speed, and the rest of the distance at 12 kilometers per hour. How much is remaining right now? 40 plus 24 is 64 is over. Another 36 is remaining, so that it becomes 100 kilometers. Now, total distance divided by total time is nothing but the average speed. So, can I say that average speed is nothing but total distance divided by total time. Total distance is 40 into 8. These are all kilometers, right? 40 into 8. In 1 hour it is 8. To cover it is nothing but 40 into 8, right? 40 into 8. So, like that you can easily calculate. Sorry, not 40 into 8. These are all the distances only, right? So, these are the distances. So, total distance as of now is 40 plus 24 plus 36 divided by total time. Now, listen carefully. Now, there is a small understanding here. Divided by total time. Now, total time. Time is nothing but distance by speed. Distance is 40. Speed is 8. 40 divided by 8, it is 5. It is a whole number. No problem. Why am I not writing here? Because you will understand in the next one. Now, next part of the time. Time is distance by speed. Distance is 24. Speed is nothing but 9. 24 divided by 9. It is a fractional value. That means I don't want to work with fractions. Let me use a different color. I don't want to work with fractions. I want to avoid fractions. If I want to avoid fractions, what I will do is, I will not take distances as 40, 24 and 36. I will make sure that this 24 when divided by 9, I am getting a fraction. 24 should be multiplied by some number, and that number when you divide by 9, you should get a whole number. That means 24 into 3, 72. 72 divided by 9 is a whole number. So 40 also should be multiplied by 3. Anyway, 40 into 3, 120 by 8 is also a whole number. 36 by 12, it was giving whole number earlier itself. If I multiply by 3 also, it will not affect me to give me the whole number. It will still give me the whole number itself. So now I can calculate the total distance as total distance is 120. Numerator is 120. Here it is 120. So here it is. Okay, let me write if you want. 120 plus 72 plus 108 divided by total time. 120 divided by 8. It is 15 hours. 72 divided by 9, it is 8 hours. 108 divided by 12, it is 9 hours. Calculate this, you will get the answer. I hope you are very clear why I have multiplied by 3. If I do not multiply by 3, 40 divided by 8, you will write here as 5. But the next value, 24 by 9, you will write it as 24 by 9 only, which is a fractional value. Why to take fractions? Just multiply all the three things by 3 so that you will avoid fraction. See here, are you getting fraction? No. Fraction in the sense I am not talking about numerator by denominator, because average speed definitely is numerator by denominator. Not that. Something like 8, instead of 8 I have 24 by 9. That is one more fraction out inside a fraction. That you should try to avoid it, is what I am trying to say. Now calculate. 72 plus 108 is 180, 180 plus 120 is 300, 300 divided by 15 plus 17, which is nothing but 32. So I can also write it as 4 into 75 is 300, 4 into 8, 75 divided by 8, and convert it into mixed fraction, because answer options are given in terms of mixed fraction. 93 by 8 kilometer per hour should be the answer for this question. Beautiful way of solving the question. Please make use of multiplying by 3 concept, whatever I have taught you in this problem, so that you will have super confidence in solving in the examination hall. Now, a smart student might get a doubt. Sir, this method, whatever you thought right now, absolutely I loved it and I understood completely, no doubt about it. Every part of the explanation, whatever you gave, I understood entire thing, no doubt about it. But in all the previous problems, you were taking the distance ratio. You were taking the ratio of the distance. Let me show it to you, right? In all the previous problem, these are nothing but the ratio of the distances. In the previous problem, 3:4 is nothing but the ratio of the distances. Here also 5:7 is ratio of the distances. But why you did not take the ratio of the distances in this particular problem? Can we solve this question also by taking ratio of distances like the way we solved all our previous problem? Absolutely yes. That is the beauty of learning through concept. Now this, I will call this question, whatever I have solved the method, as method 1 right now. I will also take one more method, very beautiful method, which I have solved it in my previous problems, in fact, where I took the distances ratio, and I will solve and I will still get the same answer, 93 by 8 kilometers per hour, which we will validate it. Now see here. Question says 8 kilometers per hour is the first speed, and then 9 kilometers per hour is the second speed, and then the third speed is 12 kilometers per hour, right? 12 kilometers per hour. And we know from the previous method that the distances are 40, 24 and 36. Let me not write that values once again and waste my time. 40 is 4 into 10. This is 4 into 8. This is 4 into 9. So the distances ratio is 10 is to, how much it is? 8 is to, no, sorry, not 4 into 8, 4 into 6 is 24. So 10 is to 6 is to, and the last value is 36. So 10 is to 6 is to 9 is the distances ratio. Can I use the method what I have implemented in the previous questions, where I solved by using distances ratio concept? Absolutely you can use it. Now see here, 8, 9 and 12. I will assume the distance as 172 kilometers. In fact, I can just take it as 72 kilometers, because 72 is a multiple of 8, 9 and 12. Now, in 1 hour it is 8. To cover 72 it is 9 hours. In 1 hour it is 9. To cover 72 it is 8 hours. In 1 hour it is 12. To cover 72 it is 6 hours. I want to find the average speed. Absolutely same concept like the way I solved previously. I told you that the distance which I assumed is 72. Write down that 72 multiplied with sum of the distances in the ratio. 10 plus 6 plus 9, it is 25. I hope you are understanding. Divided by total time. 10 into 9 hours, it is 90. Plus 6 into 8 hours, it is 48. I hope you are all understanding this concept, right? 6 into 8 hours is 48. 9 into 6 hours, it is 54. Please calculate and check whether you are getting the same answer like the previous method. Absolutely, definitely you will get it. Now, 90 plus 40 is 130, plus 50 is 180. 188 plus 4 is 192. 192 is what I got in the denominator. And I can simplify this further. 8 into 9 is 72. 8 into, how much it is? 8 into 2 is 16 and 32 is remaining. 8 into 4 is 24, right? So I am left with, again you can simplify. So this is 3 into 3 is 9. 3 into 8 is 24. 75 divided by 8 is what you got. That is exactly what you got in method 1 also, which I converted to mixed fraction as 93 by 8 kilometers per hour. You use this method of method 1, whatever I have shown you in the screen right now. Beautiful method, in fact, which will avoid using fractions. or you use the method whatever we have implemented from so many problems where you can take the distances ratio and calculate the average speed so beautifully. It is your decision to decide which method to be implemented, but I believe that both the methods are very clear for all the students listening to the class. Next question, see here, question says, a train goes from P to Q with a speed of u kilometers per hour. Let me write the diagram. There is a train which is traveling from P to Q, right? There is a train which is traveling from P to Q and the speed is given as u kilometers per hour. Then Q to R, then it is traveling from Q to R in fact, right? Then it is traveling from Q to R, and it is also given that QR is 2 times of PQ. That means whatever the distance you have for PQ, QR will be 2 times of that PQ, right? QR is 2 times of that PQ, and Q to R, it is traveling at a speed of 3u kilometers per hour. This distance, this speed is given as 3u kilometers per hour. That means if the distance from P to Q is 1 unit, then the distance from Q to R will be 2 times of that. It will be 2 units. Absolutely clear till this point. And then returns from R to P with a speed of u by 2 kilometers per hour. It is returning from R to P like this, and it is now traveling with a speed of u by 2 kilometers per hour. What is the average speed of the train for the entire journey starting from P, right? Starting from P and back to P, right? It will start from P, it will go to Q, and then it will go to R, and it will be coming back to P once again. What is the entire journey's average speed is the question. So beautiful way of solving once again. Now see here, can I say that speed from P to Q is u, speed from Q to R is 3u, speed from R to U is, R to P is, it is u by 2, right? It is u by 2. And distance ratio from P to Q, the distance is 1 according to ratio. From Q to R, the distance is 2 according to ratio. From R back to P, it is 2 plus 1, totally it is 3 according to ratio. So distance ratio is 1:2:3. I can assume the distance as LCM of u, 3u and u by 2, which is nothing but the LCM of the speeds. So LCM of u, 3u and u by 2, it will be 3u kilometers. 3u kilometers is the assumed distance. So u kilometer per hour, in 1 hour it will cover u. To cover 3u, it will take 3 hours. I hope you are understanding. In 1 hour it will cover 3u. To cover 3u, it will take 1 hour. In 1 hour it will cover u by 2. To cover 3u, it will take 6 hours. 3 into 2, 6 hours. I hope you are very clear with the beautiful concept what we are trying to learn here. Now, average speed. It's so simple right now because everything we have diagrammatically written, everything possible. Average speed, total distance. Distance I assumed is nothing but LCM 3u multiplied this with the sum of the distance ratio 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. Total time, it is 1 into 3 plus 2 into 1 plus 3 into 6. 18 plus 2, 20, 20 plus 3, 23. 18u divided by 23 kilometers per hour should be the answer, which should be option A. I hope you are super clear with all the problems whatever we have discussed till now. Next question. Ankit traveled the first half of the distance from house to school at a speed of 36 kilometers per hour. Now, half of the distance, which is 1 by 2, right? Which is 1 by 2. And for exactly 3/5 of the remaining, 3 by 50 is given in the question 3 by 5. Now, what I will do is, there is a denominator 2 which I should cancel out. There is a denominator 5 which I should cancel out. I will assume the distance as LCM of 2 and 5. I will assume the distance as 10, right? LCM of 2 and 5 is 10. So, total distance from home to school. Total distance from home to school, I am assuming it as 10 kilometers. Now start the question once again. Ankit traveled the first half of the distance. Half of the distance is nothing but how much? It is 5 kilometers, right? This 5 kilometers, he is traveling at a speed of 36 kilometers per hour speed, and exactly 3/5 of the remaining. Now, out of 10, 5 kilometers is already covered. Remaining is another 5. What is the 3 by 5th of the remaining 5? 3 by 5th of 5 is another 3 kilometers. That means Another 3 kilometers, Ankit traveled at the speed of how much? 40 kilometers per hour, right? 40 kilometers per hour. And the rest of the journey is how much? Another 2 kilometers only spending to reach his school from home right now, right? So the rest of 2 kilometers he traveled at 48 kilometers per hour speed. Find the average speed of the entire journey is the question. Exactly same to same question. You can write it like this. In fact, like this you can write it, but because I have written the diagram already horizontally, let me try to do it like that itself. Now see here, the ratio of the distances is 5:3:2. Distance ratio, we know it as 5:3:2. And I will assume the distance as LCM of the speeds 36, 40 and 48. LCM will be 720 kilometers. This is my assumption. In 1 hour it is 36. To cover 720, it will be 20 hours, right? It will be 20 hours. In 1 hour it is 40. To cover 720. 720 divided by 40, how much it is? It will be 18 hours, right? It will be 18 hours. In 1 hour it is 48. To cover 720, it will be 15 hours, which you can check it out if you want to, right? It will be 15 hours. Now, we know that 20, 18 and 15 hours are the time taken. What we need to calculate? Very simple. Average speed. Average speed is total distance. We assume the total distance as 720. Write it down. That multiply with sum of the speeds of sum of the distance ratios. 5 plus 3 8, 8 plus 2 10. Please multiply with that. And total time 20 hours for 5 kilometers. 20 into 5, it is 100. And okay, let me use a different color if you really want to, if you are getting confused. So this will be 20 into 500. 18 into 3, it is 54. And then 15 into 2, it is 36. I hope you are understanding, sir. This kind of problem we have solved so much by now. 15 into 2 is 30, not 36 here, right? There should not be any confusion by now. I am solving different varieties of questions, but the approach remains the same. Now, if I further simplify, it will be 720 into 10 divided by 100 plus 54 is 154 plus 30 is 184. So it will be 184 there, right? A denominator will be 184. Further, you can simplify this. How can I simplify this? Which number it will go with? I think 72, I think 4, not 4 basically. 8, I think 8 we can check it out, right? 8 into 90 is 720. 8 into 2 is 16 and 8 into 3 is 24. Yes, so 900 divided by 23 should be the answer for this question. 23 only, right? Because 23 into 8. Yes, 20 into 8 is 163 into 8 is 24. Yes, 900 divided by 23 kilometers per hour should be the final answer. But you should convert that into decimal value. 900 divided by 23. If you calculate that 900 by 23, you just calculate it, sir. 900, you can check it like this. 23 into 40 is 920, because 23 into 4 is 92. 23 into 40 is 920. But it is slightly lesser than 920. Answer should be slightly less than 40, which should be 39.13. It is too much less than 40. It is more than 40 ruled out. It is also too much less than 40. Very closer to 40, 39.13. You can check it in calculator. I just did by approximation. 900 by 23 should be somewhere around 39.13 kilometers per hour. But more than calculating 900 by 23, I personally believe that average speed concept in all the problems using the distance ratio or some other varieties of problems is very, very beautifully clear for all the students listening to the class.